Hey everyone, ready to dive into another career deep dive? Today we're focusing on how to land your dream job as an activity leader using RoleCatcher's awesome career guide and interview guide. We'll unpack those resources and give you the tips to totally nail that interview.
Absolutely. We'll break it all down, give you clear and actionable steps. Let's make sure you're fully prepped to impress.
I like it. So, you want to be an activity leader,
Yeah.
but what does that actually look like day to day?
I'm glad you asked that
Throat.
because RoleCatcher's Career Guide really lays it all out. Think about organizing all those fun games, leading sports competitions, giving tours. You might even be putting on shows. Basically, it's all about bringing the energy and making sure everyone's having an amazing time.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But you need endless energy to keep up with that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're in that interview and they hit you with the classic. What inspired you to pursue a career as an activity leader? Where do you even begin with that?
This is your moment to really showcase your passion, steer clear of those generic answers. Like instead of just saying, I love working with people, you got to dig a little deeper.
Right, because everyone says that.
Exactly. So maybe you're super passionate about a specific activity, like, I don't know, rock climbing
Yeah.
or dancing, or maybe you just love seeing those faces light up when someone learns a new skill, whatever gets you fired up.
So instead of a vague answer, I could say, I've always loved helping people tap into their creative side, and I think leading art activities is the perfect way to do that. Something like that.
Now you're talking. That personal touch can make all the difference. And actually, this is where RoleCatcher's AI comes in handy. It helps you tailor your answers even more. Let's say the job description is really big on teamwork. You can punch that up by adding, I'm also super excited to encourage collaboration through group activities.
So it's like having a personal editor for your interview answers. That's cool.
Totally. Okay, ready for another question? RoleCatcher highlights. It's a big one. How do you ensure activities are inclusive for all participants? This shows you're thinking about everyone's needs.
Okay, so this feels like it's more than just saying I treat everyone equally. What are some concrete examples they'd be looking for?
Let's say you're leading a volleyball game. Instead of sticking to the regular rules, how about offering some modified versions? Maybe a simpler one for the younger kids, or introducing visual cues for anyone who's hard of hearing.
It's about being proactive, thinking ahead, not waiting for someone to say something, right?
Exactly. And guess what? RoleCatcher's Career Guide has your back. It's got real examples from experienced activity leaders who've actually adapted activities for different groups. Super useful.
That's awesome. So we're not totally on our own. Okay, let's switch gears for a sec. Let's say you're in the middle of an activity, everything's going great, and then bam, conflict erupts between two people. One's accusing the other of cheating, things are getting a little heated. How do you handle that curveball?
Ugh. The dreaded conflict resolution question. Don't worry, RoleCatcher's got you covered. They ask, how do you handle conflicts or challenging behavior during activities? Time to show them you can stay calm under pressure.
So it's not just about what I do, but how I communicate in that moment.
You got it. First things first. Deep breaths. Remind yourself to stay calm. RoleCatcher's Guide really emphasizes clear communication. So instead of raising your voice or taking sides, maybe try something like, hey, I see you're both feeling frustrated. How about we take a quick break and try to find a solution together?
Yeah, I can see how that would work better than coming in hot, acknowledging their feelings and suggesting a calm approach.
100%. Here's another pro tip from RoleCatcher. When you're practicing your answers, record yourself. They have this AI-powered feedback system that analyzes your tone and everything. It helps you sound more confident, especially in a stressful situation.
It's like having a virtual coach right there giving you feedback. That's so cool.
I know, right? Okay, ready to tackle some more questions. It really is. Okay, moving on to a question that often throws people off. Can you give an example of a successful activity you led? Sounds pretty straightforward, but there's a real art to nailing this one.
Yeah, I can see how that could be tricky. You might just end up describing the activity and not really answering the question. What should we focus on instead?
Focus on measurable outcomes. So instead of just saying, everyone had a blast, try to quantify your success. Did more people sign up? Were there positive reviews? That kind of thing.
Okay, so for example, if I was leading a nature scavenger hunt, I could say something like, we had a 20% increase in signups from the previous week, and parents raved about it, saying their kids couldn't stop talking about all the cool bugs they found.
Now you're talking. You've got solid evidence to support your claim. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful. It can actually help you pinpoint the best metrics to highlight, depending on the job description. If they're all about customer satisfaction, you'd emphasize those positive reviews.
Gotcha. It's all about tailoring your answer to what they're looking for. Speaking of which, how do you stay in the loop about the latest trends? Because RoleCatcher asks, how do you stay up to date on trends and best practices in your field?
That's your time to shine. Show them you're all about that continuous learning. You could mention professional organizations like the National Recreation and Park Association, NRPA for short, or the American Camp Association. In fact, RoleCatcher lists some great resources right in their career guide.
Oh, nice. So handy. That saves us a step, so we don't have to go hunt those down ourselves. But beyond, like, professional organizations, what else show them you're invested in growing your skills?
Great question. You could talk about publications you read, online forums where you connect with other people in the field, workshops you've attended, that sort of thing.
It's really about showing them you're in it for the long haul, that you're not just looking for a summer job.
Exactly. Now let's get real for a sec. Every activity leader faces this, juggling a million things at once. RoleCatcher even asks, how do you prioritize and manage your workload as an activity leader?
Right. Because when you're responsible for a group of excited people, things can get pretty chaotic pretty fast.
It's all about showcasing those amazing organizational skills. Maybe you're a color-coded planner enthusiast. Maybe you swear by time management apps. Or maybe you just have a knack for breaking down huge tasks into manageable chunks. Whatever your secret weapon is, share it.
And I'm guessing those soft skills like clear communication and teamwork, those are super important in this kind of role too, right?
Absolutely. Definitely highlight how you keep everyone in the loop, delegate effectively, and stay positive, especially when things get a little crazy, you know?
So it's not just about being organized. It's about being a strong leader who can roll with the punches. Speaking of keeping things positive, what about creating that fun, inclusive, camp-like atmosphere? RoleCatcher asks, how do you engage participants and create a sense of community during activities? What are some strategies beyond just, like, being enthusiastic?
Think about those times you felt a really strong sense of community, maybe during an activity. Was it those icebreaker games, team building exercises? Or maybe how the leader guided those group discussions? Whatever it was, share those specific techniques you've used.
Love it. So I could talk about how I like to use those get-to-know-you games at the start, or how I make sure everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas in a group setting.
You're getting it. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really give you an edge. It analyzes your answers and compares them to successful responses so you can fine-tune your message and make it even stronger.
Whoa, it's like having a whole team of interview experts in your back pocket. That's amazing. Seriously. It's like having your own personal cheerleader, but for job interviews. Okay, last question sprint before we unleash you on those hiring managers. RoleCatcher wants to know about teamwork. How do you collaborate with other team members to plan and execute activities?
So we definitely don't want to come off as a lone wolf, right?
Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Especially in this field. It's all about collaboration. Think back to those times you've really clicked with a team. You know, delegated tasks like a pro, navigated different personalities, all to achieve a shared goal.
So I could talk about, like, that time in college when I rocked a group project with my classmates. Or maybe my volunteer work at that summer camp where we had to, like, band together to plan all those activities for a ton of kids.
Those are great examples. And don't be afraid to get specific. Like, instead of just saying, I'm a team player, tell them a story about a time your teamwork skills really saved the day. It's about painting that picture for them. Showing, not just telling. Okay, I think we've covered a ton of ground today.
We definitely have. From crafting those killer answers to leveraging AI for that extra edge, our soon-to-be activity leaders are ready to crush those interviews.
You've got this. And remember, RoleCatcher is in your corner every step of the way. With their personalized feedback and expert insights, you'll be well on your way to landing that dream activity leader gig. Best of luck out there, everyone. We believe in you.